The date is January 15th, 1989. The Houston summit crackles with anticipation as the Royal Rumble unfolds before 19,000 fervent wrestling fans. The crowd is already on edge, electrified by the spectacle, when a match billed as a battle for supremacy takes center stage. Harley Race and Haku are set to determine who holds the crown as the king of the World Wrestling Federation. But for those who know the backstage lore, this match carries far more gravity than its storyline premise. These are not just performers, these are men whose reputations as legitimate tough guys in real life loom larger than the fictional personas they portray in the ring. Harley Race, at this point in his storied career, is a wrestling legend. Known for his unyielding toughness, Race has survived a fatal car accident, grueling matches, and countless barroom brawls, most of which he initiated or finished. He embodies the old-school ethos of professional wrestling, where the business demanded not just performance, but physicality, grit, and the ability to back up your words. It's said that Race once walked into a locker room, spotted Hulk Hogan, and knocked him to the floor with a single punch. When Hogan nervously joked about Race not being armed, Race calmly produced a revolver from his jacket, silencing the room. Haku, on the other hand, was a different breed of enforcer. By 1989, his reputation as one of the toughest men, if not the toughest, to ever lace up a pair of boots was firmly cemented. Stories of Haku's exploits outside the ring border on myth, but those who know him swear by their veracity. On one occasion, Haku reportedly bit off the nose of a man who disparaged him at an airport bar. And then there's the wild tale Kevin Sullivan once recounted about a night he and Haku stopped for beers at a local tavern. Not long after walking in, a pool player insulted Haku, triggering an explosive response where Haku swiftly incapacitated one man with a chokeslam before knocking another unconscious. The chaos escalated when Haku bit through a man's shirt, tore a chunk of flesh from his back, and spat it onto the floor. And yet, Haku and Race were not alone in their singular toughness. The world of wrestling, particularly in the Federation era, was populated by men whose real-life grit and resilience matched their larger-than-life personas. In no particular order, here are 13 more wrestlers from that era whose toughness was the stuff of legend. Number 3, Rick Rude was the epitome of arrogance in the ring, his swagger and machismo infuriating fans and opponents alike. But behind the bravado was a man of genuine toughness. A former bouncer, Rude was known for his willingness to throw hands if anyone dared challenge him. His chiseled physique wasn't just for show. He trained rigorously and was said to have an iron grip that could bring even the rowdiest troublemaker to his knees. In one memorable backstage incident, Rude reportedly knocked out the Ultimate Warrior after being provoked, proving that his moniker of ravishing belied a no-nonsense persona. Number 4, Steve Blackman was an enigma in the wrestling world, a man whose stoic demeanor masked a lethal skill set. Nicknamed the Lethal Weapon, Blackman's background in martial arts made him a formidable opponent both in and out of the ring. He was an expert in multiple disciplines, including kendo and jiu-jitsu, and his precise strikes were no mere theatrics. Teddy Long once recounted how Blackman floored the Big Show, hooking the giant's leg and dropping him with ease. And then there's the airport brawl, where after a drunken John Bradshaw's wild swings missed, Blackman's precise jabs rocked him until bystanders intervened. Number 5, Brock Lesnar's mere presence is enough to intimidate. Standing at 6 feet 4 inches and weighing nearly 300 pounds of pure muscle, Lesnar is a freak of nature. A former collegiate wrestling champion and UFC heavyweight title holder, Lesnar's credentials speak for themselves. During the infamous plane ride from hell, Curt Hennig's shaving cream prank on Lesnar spiraled into a heated grappling match that reportedly came dangerously close to opening the plane's emergency exit. While details remain murky, it seems as though Hennig soon regretted provoking the powerhouse. Number 6, the Iron Sheik was as volatile as they come. A former bodyguard for the Shah of Iran and an Olympic wrestler, Sheik brought a level of authenticity to his villainous persona that few could match. His legitimate grappling skills were paired with a fiery temper that often got him into trouble. In one incident, the Iron Sheik and Bruno Sammartino reminded the world what real toughness looks like when they squared off against half a dozen football players in a backstage brawl. Despite being in his 50s and long retired, Sammartino held his ground when ex-CFL player Dave Fleming and his crew refused to leave a backstage area. Outnumbered until the Iron Sheik joined the fray, the duo turned the tide, with Sammartino later recalling how they cleaned house against their unsuspecting challengers. Number 7, Scott Steiner was the definition of a physical powerhouse. Known for his freakishly muscular physique and explosive intensity, Steiner was a legitimate athlete who excelled in collegiate wrestling before transitioning to the professional ranks. His strength was matched by his unpredictable nature, which was on full display when targeting Diamond Dallas Page during an explosive backstage confrontation. With zero hesitation, Steiner unleashed his fury, overpowering Page in a vicious brawl that left onlookers fearing for Page's life. Number 8. Kurt Angle's toughness is etched in Olympic gold. Competing in the 1996 Summer Olympics with a broken neck, Angle's victory in freestyle wrestling is a testament to his unparalleled determination and pain tolerance. In one particular backstage brouhaha, the tension between Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle boiled over as Guerrero lunged for a takedown, only for Angle's superior amateur wrestling prowess to effortlessly neutralize him, forcing Eddie to regain his composure. Number 9, Dan Severn was a pioneer of crossover athletes, blending professional wrestling with the emerging world of mixed martial arts. A multiple-time UFC champion, Severn's grappling skills and raw power made him a formidable opponent in any arena. His calm demeanor belied a ferocity that could be unleashed at a moment's notice. Wrestlers who faced Severn often remarked on his incredible strength and technical prowess, qualities that earned him the nickname The Beast. Whether in a cage or a ring, Severn's toughness was never in question. Number 10, Ken Shamrock, like Severn, was a trailblazer who bridged the gap between wrestling and mixed martial arts. Dubbed the world's most dangerous man, Shamrock's combination of striking and submission skills made him a fearsome competitor. His battles in the UFC and his tenure in the WWF showcased his versatility and tenacity. Shamrock's intense training regimen and fearless approach to competition earned him a reputation as one of the toughest individuals in the business. Number 11, the Barbarian was aptly named. With his imposing frame and raw power, Barbarian was a physical specimen who commanded attention. Like Haku, Barbarian hailed from the rugged lands of Tonga, where both men were forged in the same fire, embodying an unparalleled toughness that set them apart. Barbarian's strength was the stuff of legend, yet his calm demeanor masked a fiery side that few dared to provoke. Number 12, Ron Simmons was a trailblazer in every sense of the word. As the first African-American world champion in sports entertainment history, Simmons' toughness extended beyond the physical realm. Kurt Angle once revealed on his podcast that while Simmons commanded respect for his in-ring accomplishments, it was his reputation as a legitimate locker room enforcer, capable of besting anyone in a real fight, that truly made him a figure of fear. Number 13, Bruno Sammartino was the embodiment of old-school toughness. As a champion who held the Federation title for an unprecedented 2,803 days, Bruno Sammartino's legendary resilience was tested when he suffered a legitimate neck fracture during a match against Stan Hansen at Madison Square Garden, the result of a botched move that left him dropped on his head. Astonishingly, Sammartino returned just 2 months later, seeking redemption in a high-stakes rematch at Shea Stadium, a bout that would earn the coveted Match of the Year title from Pro Wrestling Illustrated in 1976. Number 14, a former judoka who won a bronze medal at the 1976 Olympics, Bad News Brown brought a unique skill set to professional wrestling. His no-nonsense attitude and willingness to stand up for himself earned him a reputation as someone you didn't mess with. One notable story involves Brown confronting Andre the Giant, a man many considered untouchable, over an apparent racist remark. Before long, Andre stepped down, wanting no part in a physical entanglement with Brown. Number 15, Paul Orndorff, known as Mr. Wonderful, combined charisma with legitimate toughness. A standout football player before entering wrestling, Orndorff's athleticism was matched by his fiery temperament. One infamous backstage altercation saw Orndorff stand toe-to-toe with Vader, a man significantly larger than him, and come out on top. If you're curious about the details, then check out this video right here, 10 real-life fights between WWF wrestlers. Just go ahead and click the thumbnail appearing on your screen, and I will meet you there momentarily. Thank you for watching.